What's going on, team? Proof here, and for this video it's going to be me going over the Granblue clan event stuff, the latest clan event that they had. And I know it's not timely at all. It's at like the opposite end of timeliness in relationship to my MLB video, but I had the footage that I just remembered that I had, and I still wanted to put it out there. So there's a card that I did forget to talk about in the playback, which is Captain Night Kid, the new starter that they received. And what it does, it's Forerunner, of course, but also for free. You might hear Riley in the background. For free, push it to the soul, look at the top 10 cards of your deck, and then put one into your drop zone. This is really nice if you're playing Cocytus, Cocutus, because you're gonna hear me flip-flop that in the playback. A Cocytus, Cocutus based deck, because it allows you to either find, if you're playing the Riot Chain, you can find the grade 2 piece of it, or you can find Cocytus himself, which will allow you to ride it for free from the drop zone, the grade 2 and grade 3 respectively. And it's really cool engine, and it allows you to maybe set up Night Mist, or you can find some other type of, or maybe you can find a Cocytus target that you want to hit, and it does it for free, which is really nice, and it makes it a much better starter than Guiding Zombie. That only is necessary if you're not playing Spirit Exceed, because if you're playing Spirit Exceed, you still need to have Samurai Spirit as your starter. So kind of based on what you're looking for in the deck direction you want to go in. But I think it's a really cool card. I think it's a really good card, and I just wanted to talk about it real quick because I forgot to talk about it in the video. And I have some Spike Brothers stuff coming around the bend with the new clan event starting this Saturday, which I do plan to stream that night for it. So look out for that. Look out for the Spike Brothers card review, and for the theory deck stuff that I talked about that I did back in May with chat after JP got the limit break wave of spikes. So yeah, that'll do it for me. Hope you enjoyed the playback, and I'll catch you next time. Peace. Be easy. All right, let's see what we got. We got Skeleton Colossus. At the start of your ride phase, ride a Skeleton Demon World Knight from your drop zone, and you cannot normal ride. So this is the ride chain where you have to somehow get the pieces into your drop zone so you can ride it from your drop zone for free. This is the grade 1 piece of it. Now it is enabled by Chappie, which is kind of cool, but it requires you to have this and Chappie, at which point you may as well just have the natural grade 2 in hand and go to Spirit Exceed, because then you can just go straight to Spirit Exceed if you have Chappie in hand. This one, John the Ghosty. When you attack this unit, boosted hits return to your hand. A lot of these came up in a lot of clans. They're not as good in Zero as they were in the TCG, because you can't boost with it and then pick it up and then guard with it. There's really not much added benefit to having a card come back to your hand that you can't guard with like you could before. Now, if anybody can think of a use for it, well, the use is that you can let it boost something weaker, and then it comes back to your hand. Then you may put a different booster behind, or move the booster to a different side the following turn. That's a practical use for it, but I don't think it's that good. Ripple Banshee. One place, one of your other units gets plus 2k to the end of turn. A common card you've probably seen in other clans. It has some small use in Granblue, maybe, to help hit numbers, because Granblue might have some power weaknesses here and there. But I think there's better stuff, and you have Night Mist, which hits 11k by itself. It can help Night Mist hit cross-ride numbers unboosted, which might be relevant, but beyond that, I don't think it's that fantastic. You can use the Ghosty, the dude back here, for a unit with discard skills. Are there any Granblue units that have discard skills right now? Not one comes to mind, but maybe. This is the grade 2 version of the ride chain. At the start of your ride phase, ride Cocutus from your drop zone. So if it's in your drop zone somehow, some way, maybe you mill it or Chappie it, and then you can ride it from your drop zone. When a unit attack hits, Vanguard, countercharge 1. This is a nice card for Granblue, because Night Mist is a counterblast sync, so this is a nice way to keep that going for you. I imagine this is going to be a very premium card to go alongside Night Mist going forward. Navigator Silver. When a unit attack hits a Vanguard, if you have 4 or more other rear guards, draw a card. I'm not a huge fan of these cards in Zero, just because they require a huge investment. If you're playing some type of rush deck, if your goal is to try to get as much damage on your opponent before you lose inevitably, like if you're trying to VP farm that way, farm quote unquote, this might be a decent card, but I'm not a huge fan of these, and Granblue has better options. Like you have Ruin Shade, Night Mist, the countercharge dude here, Pietro, 3-star chef. You have him there. I think they have better options. Deathseeker Thanatos. When a shooter attack hits a Vanguard, counterblast and retire it to call a card other than Thanatos from your drop zone. So this is like the Angel Feather card. I call her Hermione, but it's like Harmonious or something like that. This is the Granblue version of that, which I call it Bad Skydiver, because Skydiver is free for similar ability, but these cost Counterblast 1 to activate it. So it is a form of counterattack. It is a form of multi-attack in Granblue, which it could be relevant, but it has a 10k base power, which isn't that fantastic, because ideally for these cards you want them to attack unboosted and hit the Vanguard and then do their thing and like retire, go to Soul, etc., or go to the damage zone in the case of the Angel Feather card, and then you call a card in its place that can maybe attack Vanguard as well. The alternative is that this attacks boosted, and then ideally you have something strong enough in your drop zone that can attack your opponent's other rear guard. So that's a use for it, but it is a counterblast, and that is harder to come by or harder to manage in Granblue. Even though you have Pietro now, you kind of still want to be putting it towards Night Mist more than anything. So we'll see. I'm not too keen on Granblue to know if it's gonna be a huge thing to have multi-attack through Thanatos in the clan. It has Googly Eyes on the scythe. Can you see the SP version at all? I can't zoom in on it either. That's tough. Oh, Googly Eyes. This is a Colossus. Limit Break 4 gets +5, and then when placed, Counterblast 2 to call a card from your drop zone. Similar to the other cards I talked about, it has conflict with Night Mist, so kind of seeing where you want to put your Counterblast to, but it does make numbers at Limit Break, and this might promote a more crit heavy build for Granblue, maybe. That's the way it was played back in the day, but I'm not too keen on where it might fit, or I'm not too sure what direction people might go with their trigger lineups in Granblue in the context of Zero. I know people were playing stand triggers to help with Night Mist, or having some form of multi-attack that way, and now you have Thanatos to go along with it, so it might be a more stand-based build. Maybe you have more crits if you find more ways to, like, do they not have the grade 1, the Banshee yet? I could have sworn that card, maybe it came later. Maybe it came during Legion era. That card, yeah, there's a card that when it's called from the drop zone, Soul Blast 1 to draw a card. Kind of like Dendrain for golds, except for Granblue, which is a card that you really wanted to have with Colossus to have that form of advantage. If that card was in Zero presently, then I can see see Colossus be a little bit better, because you can play Thanatos, or he won't call it Thanatos. Play Colossus, Counterblast 2, call the Banshee from the drop zone, and then draw a card, and you might find an intercept that way or something, and get like just a +2. But I don't see it, and I don't think it's currently in the game. But yeah, 10k base like Garmor, they have no 11k base Vanguards that came in this set, which is unfortunate. Nightstorm, when it attacks Vanguard, gets +2. You've seen these everywhere. Pretty common card. And then Zombie Shark, when it's boosted, gets +3k. The issue with Zombie Shark is that it could make numbers against 11k Vanguards, but that would require you to play Romario, and a lot of Granblue decks had issues fitting Romario into their deck lists. But if you're not playing Spirit Exceed, then that means you'll need to play Night Spirit potentially, and then you can focus more on just hitting raw numbers that way, to where this might be a little bit better. It'll be interesting to see what develops on the Granblue side, because Night Mist isn't going anywhere. It's their best grade 2 in the deck. Chappie's not going anywhere, which is the best grade 1 the clan has. So you have 8 slots allotted to Chappie and to PG, so you have 5 slots to work with, and you have to maybe find a way to put in Evil Shade. Is it Evil Shade? Yeah, Evil Shade, because it's one of your better filter, or one of your better meal options to fill up your drop zone for stuff, where it might not have space to fit in this in general, or this plus for Mario. So not a huge, I don't think the cards are that great. I don't think the Natos is that good. I don't think Colossus is good enough without the Banshee that draws when called from drop zone. Like in terms of event clans, Granblue isn't a great one, in my opinion.